It's 7:40. Let's do this. You guys look like you like each other. You want to know a secret? We do! Talking about WTKR. I've only been here 4 months, but I'm going to get into that too in just a moment. Good evening. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. You're watching First Warning Live, sponsored by Marco's Pizza, which we're trying to give free pizza away. It's a hard task. Some people are you sure you're giving? Yes, we are. We're giving away free pizza. Those new names announced tomorrow. But we also have a great deal on Pozzolis, which is like half off. I digress. We're going to be talking about a day in the life at WTKR. I'm going to share some cool behind-the-scenes stories that maybe you won't hear from everybody. I'm kind of the newbie, right? I've only been here 4 months. This station is celebrating its 75th year in existence. And Kurt Williams has been here 38 years, so I'm thinking he's been here half the time? It's amazing stories. But anyway, I got to get to the weather because that's what you're here for, and if that's why you're here. Let me get to the beginning here because this was how it started this afternoon. We had a damage report right here, right along 210 this afternoon in Knott's Island. This was a large tree limb that came down and it landed on a power line in Corolla. We had a severe thunderstorm warning in around 1:30 this afternoon. We still have some flash flood warnings going on right now in around Currituck till 8. They had one in Norfolk. Northern Norfolk until 8 o'clock. That looks like it's been pulled. Maybe it's been removed, and that's okay. But just to give you an idea, some perspective here, this is the area that they were looking at along 460. About 1.5 to 2 inches of rain may have fallen, and since we're all about neighborhoods, I mean, I'm looking at, where are we looking at? I'm looking at, Cape View Avenue, Burksdale Road. You mean that neighborhood? That neighborhood. That's the neighborhood that got a lot of rain today. Because I didn't get much rain and I'm in fill in the blank, right? Some of you are like, you wrote this day off. You said, oh, I thought it was going to rain. I'm going to show you where it rained hard. It's sometimes the story of the haves and have-nots. But this neighborhood, anywhere from Old Ocean View Road, Burksdale Road, you got a lot of rain. You got about 1.5 to 2 inches, and that triggered a flash flood warning in effect. But now it's been removed. But let's go down all the way down into areas around, say, Currituck County. This is affecting about 6,000 people. I'm looking at areas just north of Poplar Branch. The rain's ended, but when you look at the Doppler estimates, they picked up 2.5 to 3. 3 inches of rain, that's a lot of rain for a short period of time, which is why that triggered flash flood warning. Now also, Nags Head picked up, I believe, close to 3.8 to 4 inches, and southern Roanoke Island about 2 inches of rain. A lot of rain, and then the lion's share of it fell in places like just east of Windsor. Edenton, I believe, picked up about 3.5 inches of rain, 3.6. But are you kidding me? 5 inches of rain, 5.2. That's a lot of rain, even if it's half right. It's 2.5, right? But Doppler estimates seems to suggest there was a lot of rain in some neighborhoods that would say, make it stop. So you're like, make it start. Sometimes just the way it goes. Sometimes it doesn't always come to pass. By the way, I can't do this effectively. I mean, I could, but I can't do it with such flair by giving away free pizza. Did you know there are 5 convenient locations that are participating in the contest? We're also giving away, I guess, $5 Pozzolis. They're usually twice the price if you use the promo code WTKR David. Wait a minute, that's your name. I know, but if you go to barcos.com and go to the checkout, hit the promo code WTKR David, you can get a $5 Pozzoli. My personal favorite is the pepperoni and sausage, but you can't lose if you get any of the other 3, whether it be pepperoni, chicken bacon ranch, or buffalo chicken. I got some comments on here. I want to check in with you. Dawn Rumsey, I think, had a comment from last night. She said, oh, hi, David. She says, good to see you and hear you do the weather, even if it's not here. Now, here I think she's referring to. I think what she's referring to is, let me get back on the camera here. She's referring to the fact that I'm no longer in Knoxville. I'm in Norfolk, spent 15 years in East Tennessee, but now that I'm here, I have a following that still follows me around. I mean, that's kind of nice. It's nice to feel appreciated. And I thank you, Dawn, because I know she's been a big supporter for me for many years. And I don't have all the workings of everybody who's on the call, but I want to get some of you on the screen. I had another comment from yesterday. I believe it was Mike. He's local. He says, I remember Dave Parker. Dave Parker was here for 10 years. He's now doing, I guess, on radio. He's still here locally. And that was one of the comments I believe somebody had noted, that he's still here. Where was that? Yep, Patty Lynn Miller. She said Dave Parker still lives here locally. So I hope to be able to connect with not only him, but a lot of other folks that might have come through these halls. Do you know the name Mike Simon? Oh, Mike Simon. You know, he worked at Knoxville. He worked here. I'm connecting the dots. See, I think he did noon and 5:30 back in 1999, early 2000s. But he worked at WVLT. So it's weird how the weather world is everybody's 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon, or maybe they're 1 degree from Dave Parker. So it's just kind of the way it goes. But I get ahead of myself. Let's get back to the weather because I'm going to fill in some of these stories. But look at all this rain. I mean, it was a lot. Some said it was too much. Some said, when's it going to start? I don't know if it's going to start for you. If you're in maybe Newport News, if you're in Matthews, maybe you got a few showers. But the heavier rains right now are in Hatteras and Ocracoke because of a stalled system, a stalled boundary. That's about all we're getting right now in terms of rain. Now, most of it's on its way out, so we will see some improvement this evening with some patches of dense fog likely to roll into town. I got another note from Joshua Griffin, nearby weather station next to my apartment in Ocean View. Got 2.36 inches. Thank you, Josh. I'll see if I can get you on the screen here in just mere moments, but we do have some comments coming in, and I am appreciative of everyone who's watching it live. I'm also appreciative of those who watch it maybe on delay. That can also take place very easily because some people can watch it when it's convenient for them. Our temperatures. I love this. Come back on camera. This is like where the temperature matches the heat index. Ooh, that means there's not much difference, right? 75, Virginia Beach, feels like 75. Sounds like a real tough equation here. 74, Chesapeake, feels like 74. Something's happened. You, Aldrich, said it was going to be cooler around the 4th of July. You said it would be about 85 today. We only hit 84. 84, because I'm a note taker. We hit 84 at Norfolk International at 10 after 12. That means 12:10, right around lunchtime, we hit 84. That was the max. Didn't get any hotter than that. I know if Kim's watching. Kim and Denmark always are cool. They like cool weather. But we had a cooler than average day. Cooler than average day because the normal high is 89 this time of year. We only hit 84. And you look at the current readings now in Suffolk, 76. Feels like 76. Something's changed. It's still humid, but it's not as hot. Yesterday we were at 94. Today, 84. Hey, you delivered. Overpromised, underdelivered, something like that. I'm doing my best. Even though I was off by a degree, it's like when you play golf. You don't always score at 18 on 18 holes. At least I don't think you do, unless you're really good at putt-putt. But I get ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and get back to the maps because I want to check in with your comments if you have something you want to share. I see Josh here. He says, hey, nearby weather station. He got 2.36 inches. That's precision. He is also one of our neighborhood weather watchers. Appreciate Josh letting us know what he had. By the way, this is the national map right now. As it's now 7:48. We're looking at some interesting things here as we're going to be giving away free pizza from Marco's. I want to show you what that certificate looks like in just a moment. But here's where all the active weather is. If I zoom back out, I'm hard-pressed to find those orange polygons. Nothing in Florida, nothing in Texas. Looks like one way down here in Arizona. So if you're in the military, you got family everywhere and anywhere, just west of Tucson. They've got a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Looks like if I zoom in a little bit tighter, it's in till 5:15. I guess that would be West Coast time. But that's a long time. That's about 1 inch hail or less. That's about the size of a George Washington quarter. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings up in the northern plain states here. I'm looking at southern Wisconsin, near Rochester, Minnesota. They have one until 7:30. That affects 12,000 people. And one last up here in Wisconsin. So if you have family in Wisconsin, not far from Hayward, they have Washburn County until 7 o'clock. Would probably be central time. So just wanted to give you an idea that the severe weather is going to be diminishing as we come back here on camera. The severe weather that we get tomorrow and the next day, it's going to be harder to find. What's going to be focused now, the focal point will be set down toward Florida because of something that could become tropical. The very system that's moving through slowly today could boomerang. Is that a word? It could boomerang, and we could get a third named storm of the season named Chantal. But I get ahead of myself. Let me get to the maps again. This is the severe weather look. Here it is, number 40%. This is possibly the third storm of the season. You'll notice that this orange area covers a little bit in the Gulf, but it also looks like it's moving up toward the Carolinas. That would be an interesting little wrinkle, wouldn't it? It also seemingly covers areas around southeast North Carolina, not far from Wilmington, not far from Wrightsville Beach. So if this is, in fact, something tropical or soon to be, or subtropical, where the winds aren't that concentric. They're not that all put together, like a figure skater that pulls their arms in. It's not going to be like that. It won't be like that storm, but it could be a slow mover. It could be a heavy rainmaker. And given the fact that some of us got 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches of rain today, this has got to be something we've got to watch. We just have to. I mean, what other choice do we have? We had Andrea a week ago Tuesday. We had Barry over the weekend hit Mexico. So why couldn't we get Chantal? She could be knocking on the door around the corner. Did I mention you could get free pizza? Oh, I love free pizza. And you know it's because it's July. You can now have, if you have a certificate, I think we've given like 50 of these away so far. You have now the opportunity to get a free pizza, 1 large, 1 topping for the month, for the next year. And I hope that you will register for it. It's very easy to do. I didn't mention it earlier, but I'll do that right now. Over here, you'll see that we have the Marcos. Oops, that was from earlier. This is the address. This is the address. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos, and register to win. We're going to be giving away some single pizzas, no doubt, in the days to come, as well as a free pizza for a year. I want you to get some free food, and at the very minimum, all you have to do is use the promo code, get a $5 Pizzoli. You're going to spend more than that at a 7-Eleven. You're going to spend more than that if you go to a drive-thru. Let's be real. WTKR David, that's how you would do it. Okay, we've been talking about the storm names. Chantal is certainly one that we could see. Headlines, let's just put this in bullet point form. Drier air moves in on Thursday. Some spotty rain will be possible. Now, Independence Day, which is, of course, Friday, looks like it's bright sun, mostly sunny. Only a stray shower chance I see on Independence Day. That would probably be pretty much over the Outer Banks. And then, of course, it should be a near normal weekend. Normal's 89 for this time of year. Rain chances increase on Sunday. Why would I increase the chances around Sunday? Because of the 40%? Now you see where I'm thinking. What happens if something forms? It's the boomerang, right? This front's going to slow to get in here, slow to leave, and then once it leaves, it wants to come back. Come on. That's why we're first warning. That's why we're telling you now, so you can mentally prepare. This is something we got to watch. It's not, the chapter of this book hasn't been finished, written. It's not, the story's not done. We got to finish that story, but I have the suspicion we're going to have some active weather. By the way, for July, we had one day, yesterday, above normal, and today, 84. It was 10 degrees difference. Maybe that surprises you, maybe it doesn't. Just kind of curious to know what you've got. By the way, Marilyn Bell's on here. I want to fly in here. She says, it's been a hot but breezy 89 degrees here in my area of East Tennessee. She encourages everyone to stay hydrated outside. I think that's great advice, Marilyn. Some people don't know carry a water bottle. I've begun to carry I have a Scripps water bottle. I carry it around now. It's with me most of the time, and it's just good to have, especially on these hot, sticky days. If you were at 89 and you have dew points in the 70s, you probably wish that you probably had the water bottle. So we'll keep an eye on that, but thank you so much, Marilyn, for that note. We talked about the highs so far this month. Did I mention we have a free app? I love this app. The first warning weather app from News 3, along with having a NOAA weather radio, is an almost guaranteed way that you're going to keep the notifications flowing. Now, if you're like me, my phone battery starts to kind of fade away, maybe late afternoon, or certainly by evening, unless I give it a new charge. So having a NOAA weather radio is a great backup plan. You can also follow the National Weather Service on X or Twitter. You can do a whole host of things, but having multiple sources just makes good sense. Temperature right now in Franklin, 75. Carrollton right now, 76. But you're calling for a low of 73. Yeah, it's not going to move much. That's my point. Why is that important? Because that means patches of dense fog is likely to form, not everywhere, but where it rained hard today. So if you got a lot of rain, and I just highlighted some of the spots that got them, Nags Head, Edenton, areas in Chowan County, Bertie County, you may have some dense fog in the morning. So when you wake up, you say, I thought it was supposed to be a nice day, I can't see the sky. It's going to be foggy, most likely, in the spots that got most of the rain. We don't have to fall very far. If we're at 75 now, in Norfolk, we go back to 73 tonight. We could see some fog in spots. Just be prepared for that. Just kind of throw that out there. Our temperature in Elizabeth City, the harbor of hospitality, which I spotlighted last Sunday. I love the harbor of hospitality. One of the cool things about, let's put this. I got to do this. I think I could do this. Let's see. I've been trying to put this together. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I can be on the screen at the same time as my neighborhood spotlights. When I go to these towns, Facebook allows me, you, anybody who's on Facebook, 80 pictures per post. If you try and upload the 81st picture, you get, that's not happening. So I do 80 pictures. Sometimes I get the blowback. So says, oh, you forgot such and such. You forgot this and this. And I go, well, put it in the comments. Because I'm limited to the algorithms that is Facebook. So they cap me off at 80 photos. I took 80 photos of Elizabeth City. I took 80 photos of Manteo, Matthews, Exmoor, Franklin, Edenton, Moyock, Smithfield, and Poquoson. And all these pictures live on my Facebook page. And I'm not doing it necessarily for applause, but I'm doing it so I can be more familiar with your neighborhood. Does that make sense? Because I am forward thinking, if this is first warning, at some time in the future, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe it's 3 years from now, we could have a tropical storm, slow moving, or hurricane hit the Outer Banks or Hampton Roads. And if that's the case, do you think knowing these towns like Smithfield and Poquoson, do you think that's going to hurt me or help me? I think it's going to help me. If I know the area, if I say, okay, I've been there. Okay, so in my mind's eye, if I'm going to serve you, my neighbor, in a good way, this is just another way to serve you, right? And we do it as a weather team. We talked about, we do it with our weather watchers. This is Renee Hobbs. She's the wife of Ed Hobbs, but there's Derek Getter, our forecaster, and meteorologist Miles Henderson, the best in the business, in my view, right? We're going to talk a little bit about some of the fun pictures we had with Kurt Williams. He's like the leader of the band. When he says, hey, let's take a selfie, we all get together. We do that too. But I'll save that for the end because I think you'll enjoy hearing some of those stories. Let's get back to the dew points. It is tropical, 100%. Feels like the tropics when you've got temperatures in the low 70s and it's virtually everywhere. You're somewhere between the world of muggy and the world of oppressive. Oppressive. I don't like oppressive. Some of you are like, I don't really like it. Can you lower that? Not just yet. It's July, right? This is the time of year when you typically expect to be with dew points in the 70s. I mean, I would love it if it were like football season and we were down at 55, but we're not there. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to find too many spots at 55 dew point. Now, Columbus, Ohio comes to mind. I'm looking at the telestrator here. Oops, we'll circle that. There's some dry air here. I mean, it's around 60 in Pittsburgh. But it's still swampy up in New York City. It's swampy around, say, Myrtle Beach. I mean, we're a low to mid 70s. We can include DC in that, and my illustration is getting a bit obscene, so I'll go ahead and erase that. But I just wanted you to see that the humidity is playing a role in perhaps how you feel. Even though it was cooler today, it didn't drop the humidity, not one bit. 86 right now in Knoxville. I want to say hi to my East Tennessee friends. Was there 15 years. I've been in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hampton Roads now for 4 months, and it's been a thrill. I'm going to share some of those great stories with you here in a moment. If you've got a comment you want to share with me, would love to say hi to you. I got Josh Griffin. He wants to know how the beach forecast looks for the ocean view this weekend, looking to go swimming. I think you're going to like it, Josh. I think you're going to like the beach forecast. I would say outside of a 10% chance of rain on the 4th, for the Outer Banks, 10% is pretty, like 90% chance you stay dry. I think you're going to like it. It's not going to be too bad. It's really what we want to watch, what's going on off the coast of Florida. That will be something we need to watch over the next 3 to 5 days, but we'll see how that plays out. So look at the temperatures around the country. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or an atmospheric scientist to see it's pretty hot right in here. Most of the country is hot, but there's some cool spells in West Texas, Phoenix 106, that's always hot. But look at California. They're in the 60s right now. That's kind of cool. I would imagine even by their standards here in July, but that's where things are. And I want to show you the future temperatures. Look at the coolness over the next 10 days over Canada. Could some of that come down here? Sometimes that's the case. But again, this is just a projection. This is at 5,000 feet. We like to refer to as the 850 millibar temperatures, which gives us a good idea. There's some yellowing here. So there's going to be maybe some cool spells. Today was cooler, right? But it doesn't define the month. We typically see historically about 15 days at 90 or higher in Norfolk International. So Hampton Roads is accustomed to getting 15 days or half the month at 90 or higher. So if you get a pullback like you did today, well, that's probably a bonus for those of you that are not a fan of the hot weather. All right, so keep moving here. It's now 7:59. The planner for tomorrow, very clear. I want to be very clear. Patches of fog will be dense where it rained hard. 76, 85, we go to 90 for a high. So we're going to be about 6 degrees warmer tomorrow. The sun's going to be out most of the day, maybe a few puffy, you like that word, puffy cumulus clouds for the afternoon, but clearing skies, and more sun's going to be going down again tonight and tomorrow at 8:28. So that's my expectation for your Thursday as you make plans. And there's some spotty rain, about a 20% chance that could still occur, but nothing Nothing like the intensity that some of us saw during the course of today. Did you know we're just 2 days away from Independence Day? Oh, yes, we are. And I just thought, hey, what would this look like on the big cam? The flag looks good. We're getting closer to the holiday. Are you excited about the holiday? Do you have family coming in? Are you going out? Love to hear your stories. Share them with me. I'll put it on the screen. I'll do my best. But I can tell you the Independence Day expectation is as follows. 81, that's warm. 87 at 1 and 89 at 5, looking for a high in the upper 80s. But the good news is, because fireworks are important, everybody likes to see the fireworks, it looks like we're around 80 degrees with a 0% chance of rain by 9 o'clock Friday night. Now that's a winner. I think that's the best forecast I can share. If I have to be the messenger, that's a good message to be able to share with you. Hopefully that's where you want it to be all the same. Got a couple of notes from Maryland, from Joshua. If you've got some other notes, share them with me. I'll do my best to put you on the screen. Weekend forecast 88, 90. Mostly sunny with a few storms. I did increase the chance of rain Sunday to 30% because I just don't trust what's going on in the Gulf. Right? The one that's over Florida, that little disturbed area, because once the front that we have today stalls down across Florida, it might boomerang back into town. We can have 30% chance on Sunday. I think it's a 40% chance on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Maybe it stays far enough out to sea, but it may be just close enough that it's rubbing shoulders with the Outer Banks. Just wanted to give you a heads up. After all, this is all about first warning weather. It is now 8:01. Here's our temperature trend. We're going to be pretty close to normal. Well, what's normal? Normal's 89. I can see that right here. I'll circle it for you. But the coolest day looks like Saturday at 88 degrees. So maybe statistically we're pretty close to average for the next 5 days. Rain chances are pretty muted over the next 3 days, but then they stair-step back up to 30 and 40% by the time we hit Monday. I think we'll be probably Tuesday back to 40. But I get ahead of myself. That's the 4 day. If you're heading out to the pool, maybe you're heading to the beach, but let's say you're at the pool, I'd say plus for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe a maybe there on Sunday. If the afternoon starts to get a little dark with some of the clouds, we could get some storms. But again, it's still early. I think you'll enjoy playing with the soccer ball there in the pool. I like the pool. All right, here's the Eastern Shore forecast. Notice the high UV index, it's up to 10, which means you can burn pretty easily. Highs around 85 in Chincoteague, 88 for Bloxham, 87 for Onancock. I got a great picture from Onancock coming up from one of our WTKR photographers. 85 in Cape Charles tomorrow. Expecting Exmoor at 86. And as we slide down to the Outer Banks, about 83 for Kill Devil Hills, 20% chance of rain. Duck, 83, 20% chance of rain. And Nag's Head, about 84. I think Nag's Head's had enough rain to last them for a while. 83 in Rodanthe, and about 83 for Hatteras and Ocracoke. So that's where likely we're to be the next couple of days. It's 8:02. I want to show you the Storm Prediction Center maps because you might have family anywhere or everywhere across the country. We're looking at some dark green areas that would be isolated. What I'm looking at is right in here, isolated, and maybe it's scattered if it's yellow. So those are the real two colors we want to look at between now and say 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's what's illustrated here. Let's see if I can get to that. So here's this coloring, right? It's up toward the Great Lakes. It's up across Montana. So really the severe weather threat has pretty much diminished across much of the southeast, but there are some hot spots in yellow in Montana, big sky country. Even Las Vegas could get some isolated severe storms between now and 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I don't want to leave out Minneapolis, St. Paul, Green Bay, and parts of Michigan could get severe weather isolated between now and 8 o'clock tomorrow, but nothing to account here in eastern North Carolina or perhaps even southeast Virginia. Now heading into Thursday, the chance of severe weather, if you're traveling tomorrow, there could be some isolated severe weather pockets around Bismarck, north of Rapid City. Chicagoland, if you got a flight in and out of Chicago tomorrow, Milwaukee, they could have some isolated severe storms, as could the Big Apple. Boston, Albany, some big cities in the Northeast up toward New England. They too could have some severe weather on Thursday. I don't expect it much here, so that's the way things shape up. And then Friday, Minneapolis. This is the 4th of July. It's not just Friday, it's Independence Day, and most of us are going to be free of storms, but the one or two locations that may not be exempt would be Fargo and Minneapolis. Those two areas might get some isolated severe storms on the 4th of July. Otherwise, most of us are looking good heading into the holiday. By the way, Futurecast, I want to bring this back on camera because one of the things I like about being able to show you this is just to kind of walk you through what I expect to see. Now, this is 9 o'clock. Anyone is dealing with rain now or the last remnants of rain, it's only going to clear out. So watch when we move into 11, the clouds walls are still mostly cloudy, start to decrease in the overnight. So here, 7 a.m., voila, we have some patches of dense fog where it rained hard. That's what I expect to see. Once we move into 11 or midday tomorrow, it looks fine. Here we're seeing a lot of storms, or not storms, lots of drops of rain that I think is over depicted. This is sometimes I might not agree with the output, but I want to show you the output. It's suggesting at least there could be some drops of rain just north of Franklin, maybe back toward the Isle of Wight, and then even into Virginia Beach. But I think at 3 to 5 o'clock, most of this might be over depicted, and it'll be quickly out of the way. If you headed to maybe the Tides baseball game tomorrow night, they've got some fireworks post-game that it should be fine. By the time we hit the Friday, the 4th, nothing to see here. By 5 o'clock, it looks good and really looks good at this particular time, which is important because I think by 9 o'clock, it's getting dark. The people are ready to fire off the fireworks and they want some good weather, which I believe they will have at that particular time. Just check in the comments if you got a note. Denmark is on here. I was waiting for Denmark. Where is he? He says hello. He says, today was a beautiful day. I agree, Denmark. It was cooler than average. I was hoping either you or Kim likes to keep me accountable on the coolness, that we got a cooler day. Most of the afternoon was spent in the 70s because of the rain and the clouds, but we did manage a high of 84 degrees. So we got what we got, and it wasn't much more than that. It'll be back to 90, I think, tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But that's how the Futurecast plays out. It is now 8:06. Wanted to show you the forecast tomorrow morning. A little bit of fog, 72 for the peninsulas, 73 south side, 74 for North Carolina. High temperatures tomorrow may only squeeze out 85 around Cape Charles, 89 for Hampton, Gloucester, 90 for Franklin, 91 for Suffolk, and about 90 for Edenton by tomorrow afternoon. I got us at 90 for Smithfield and 90 for Norfolk for a high temperature. Tomorrow afternoon, generally upper 80s to low 90s. Nothing too extreme given the fact the normal high is 89. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast, 89 on the 4th, 88 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday, and then you'll notice the chance of rain goes up to about 40%. I'll kind of underline it here. Once we get in next week, there's some uncertainty. No one's really sure what's going to happen with this system. Does it form? Is most of it off the coast, or is it rubbing shoulders against the Outer Banks? Time will tell, but right now I've got us down for a 40% chance of rain early next week. So if you're maybe taking a couple of days off after the holiday, like taking Monday, Tuesday off, just know that it might be a little unsettled in the days to come. All right, just want to remind you, if you haven't checked out, make sure you know that these are the 5 locations that you can get a $5 Pozzoli, 3 in Virginia Beach, 1 in Greenbrier, Chesapeake, and Kempsville Road, and 1 in Norfolk. The webpage to sign up for the free pizzas, WTKR.com/Marcos. I mentioned that we'll be announcing a winner tomorrow. The Pozzoli it's like a stromboli, like a calzone. It's very, very filling. Just for $5. You can get a Pozzoli now if you go to Marcos.com, or the Magnifico pizza. That's also a great item too if you're hungry for pizza. But the special and the certificate, which looks like this, will be announced tomorrow. We're going to be giving away. You can take advantage of, because remember, this is the deal of the week, which means it's only good through Saturday. So if you use the promo code WTKRDavid, you can get a Pozzoli for just $5. So I hope you'll do that. Save yourself some money. This time of year, you kind of want to save money any way you can. And I love the fact that Marcos is community oriented, that they want to be able to give back to the community, because they love weather too. They do love the weather, and it's nice to have them, a great thing to have them as a sponsor. But I want to show you again the forecast here. I believe we have some happy shots here. Oh yeah, Longhorn Bay sunset. Dana Bandy wanted to share this with us. Great picture. Love seeing this. And then we have another great picture from Joan Johnson. I mentioned the Onancock sunset. There it is. Thank you, Joan, for sharing that picture with us. And the East Beach sunset from Norfolk from Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just love these pictures. We've got some very talented people in that group. This is a Facebook group that has a little more than 5,000 people in it. And so some of these pictures might have a few days on them or some age to them, but I love being able to see them. Sometimes if they're shared or somebody comments on them, they kind of move up to the top of the ticket. So I was able to see this one from East Beach sunset in Norfolk. So thank you for sharing that with me here. All right, so here's the forecast. Just if you're just joining us, I didn't want to get into the nuts and bolts, and someone says, well, does he even cover weather? Yeah, I think we've covered it now for almost 30 minutes. But I wanted to share with you some cool things about working here at WTKR. Somebody had made the comment to Mark Davis and said, you guys look like you enjoy it. You guys look like you like each other. And we do. Now, I've only been here 4 months, a little more than 4 months, but I want to show you this picture and give you a sense, right? Now, we had a day where Jessica Larche was off. I think she was either on assignment or on vacation, but we had an opportunity where we were able to, I don't know, strike a pose, what have you. But this went, a lot of people liked this picture when it was posted on social, on Facebook. The great things about Kurt will take pictures anywhere he can. One of the cool things, even during the newscast, he might be giving you the details beyond the headlines. Looks like Jessica on this particular day might be updating her script, checking email, what have you. But Kurt will constantly record, and he loves and embraces social media. I love it. But when we started this was like on a Thursday, June 8th. I love the fact that Kurt, he's always thinking outside of the box. So we got Mark Davis here. This is Mark over here. So in case you don't watch the local news, this is Anthony Sabella. He's away on paternity leave. Lucy Sabella, his daughter, new baby, is in the world, and so he's taking care of family as he should. I would imagine Anthony's probably on, I guess, what is this? Come back on camera. I would say Anthony's probably on diaper number 496, something like that, right? Because I've had kids, I know, but we love Anthony, and he'll be back. If in case you wondered, where did Anthony go? He's still around. But this picture, I just wanted to share with you, during a commercial break. Sometimes people think, oh, you guys rehearse this stuff. Not with Kurt. No. What I quickly learned and how much we enjoy working with each other, Kurt will sometimes, right in a 2-minute, 3-minute commercial break, he says, let's do a selfie. And so everyone springs into action, right? And so the end product, this was not rehearsed. He found out that forecaster Dara Getter, if you're not familiar with our weather team, forecaster Dara Getter, she's on the left here, she was behind the wall at the Weather Center. And when Kurt tried to take this picture, he's like, something's missing. He said, let's do it again. Let's get Dara to take the picture. So we had a great time being able to celebrate, I don't know, what was it, the Avengers? I guess Mark looks like Thor to me, and I definitely think Anthony's playing guitar. But these are fun things, fun images. Not everybody's going to do this during a newscast, but if you thought this was rehearsed, think again. One of the other things I love about Kurt, we lost, she said goodbye, she wanted to spend more time with family. Angela Bohan's last day, after 4.5 years, was on Friday. Kurt wanting to recognize and acknowledge Angela's contributions. That's one of the great things he was doing on social media. On her last day, I got to work with Angela at the 11 o'clock news the night before her last day. So it was kind of special. He is also celebrating Kurt. I'm giving Kurt a lot of props here. Angela is on the left. We got Jessica Larche. We got Mr. Cruz. And we, of course, got Kurt Williams. But this is Julio Avila, if I said that right. He used to be a reporter, and now that we're in our 75th year, they were celebrating him coming back just to acknowledge his work and efforts, because it is pretty amazing. When you think about the fact that your station is 75 years old, and someone like Kurt, who's been now here 38 years, he's been here since 1987. He is kind of like the leader of the band. When he says, hey, let's take a selfie on it, usually happens on a Friday. That picture was taken on a Thursday, which is why I said it's not even Friday. People just, it's fun. It's a fun place to work. Do we work long hours? Absolutely. Are there times where, is it always fun and games? No. But when you have an opportunity to let some air out of the tire, which really Kurt has done, maybe he's done this before he had his diagnosis. He had prostate cancer. He just won an Emmy. He encouraged men to get tested. That's one of the benefits of having a news anchor who's been down that road before. He's been able to share that in his walk. And so I love being able to work with him. Love being able to work with Mark Davis, one of the best sportscasters I've worked with. And then, of course, Anthony, one of the fantastic, he does live so well. Like he was out in the heat. I guess it was back. We were having a hot, humid day, just seamless. He does live so well. And sometimes that's a skill that has to be acquired. Anthony is one of the best in doing that as well. So I just wanted to give a salute to the WTKR staff, the assignment editors, the photographers, the sales staff. Everybody works together in tandem. And the morning crew, which I don't see much of, but I do know they work very, very hard. Miles Henderson is also in the morning. So we would encourage you to check out our newscast. And anytime you get a chance, let us know your feedback. What is it you would like to see covered on First Warning Live in terms of weather? Is there something like a beach forecast? Is there something about ocean temperatures? I'm here to be receptive because I want to be here as you head down to the holiday week, get closer to the 4th of July. Well, remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or the weather is serious. Just remember that each day is a gift. Make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here next time. Take care.